President. This debate is not happening in a vacuum. It's not something that is confined within the chambers of this parliament, inside the Beltway and Parliament House. It's happening in an environment in Australia where racist hate speak is on the rise, where people can't walk down the street if they are of diverse, multicultural people of colour in Australia without feeling threatened. It's happening in an environment where there has been an increase in people being insulted, humiliated, offended, harassed and intimidated. All of this. I want to share with you a meeting that I had last Sunday. It was with a Muslim women's group who were having a morning tea to be bringing their community together. And the title of the event and their theme for the morning was Working Towards Unity in Today's Hostile Political Climate, because they recognise what's changed for them as Muslim Australians over the last couple of years. They told me some horrific stories. They mostly wanted to celebrate their diversity. They mostly wanted to come together and to focus on the positives and a positive way forward. But it was inevitable that they had to share what had been happening to them, their experience on the streets, of people being yelled at, being abused, just for being identifiably Muslim on public transport, women wearing hijabs being told to go back to where you come from, and just being vilified for who they are. They told me of a woman wearing a niqab, which is the face covering where only the eyes are showing. The woman wearing a niqab driving a car with the window wound down and having a cup of hot coffee thrown at her, scalding her face. They told me of another woman, also a niqabi, walking down the street with her 2-year-old in a pram and having the pram kicked over. They told me of their young children coming home and saying, why do people always say bad things about Muslims? Why can't they say good things about us? We're good people, aren't we? And they are good people. But this is the climate that this debate's occurring in. And any weakening of our Racial Discrimination Act is going to be giving the green light. It is already giving the green light to be unleashing more racism. There are consequences of this weakening that's going on. And there's no doubt that replacing insult and offend and humiliate in the Racial Discrimination Act with harass or intimidate is giving people licence to say more. Even if in legislation, and once it finally goes to court hearings, if it doesn't change the situation on the street, it is giving people that sense of we can now be more racist than we felt we were able to be before. It's giving people the ability, it's encouraging those racist attitudes, it's encouraging that sense of difference, it's encouraging people to say that to feel that difference and to feel that it's okay to be able to offend people. I mean, the argument being put by the government is that by not being able to offend, insult and humiliate is an attack on free speech. Simply put, it's not. I mean, the argument that's being put up that this is an attack on free speech, that people should be able to offend and insult and humiliate and just not be able to harass or intimidate, the fact for that being put as an argument against free speech is a complete straw man. I mean, the arguments put by Senator Fawcett before in defence of free speech, I think almost everybody in this chamber would have agreed with him. But that free speech is not under attack with the current wording of the Racial Discrimination Act. Senator Lionhelm said that what he said would have violated 18C, and who's going to go outside and say it and see whether it would have got through. I mean, first of all, under the existing provisions of 18C, it's not just somebody taking offence that would enable a successful case under the provision of 18C. Justice Kiefel, who's now the Chief Justice of the High Court, in the Cairns Post case said that in order to be successful, that those words had to have profound and serious effects, not to be likened to mere slights. So it's not just, oh, I'm offended, that therefore people can't say that because they're going to be prosecuted against in a court case. No, it has to be something that's causing profound and serious effects, not likened to mere slights. But finally, of course, the other thing is that what we never hear from the government is the provisions of 18D. And 18C and 18D operate together. And so for everything, for example, that Senator Lionhelm said in his contribution earlier on, absolutely would have been covered by the provisions of 18D. I want to read out the provisions of 18D in its entirety because I think people need to be reminded of, we've got 18C that says we're not allowed to offend, insult or humiliate, but 18D says that Section 18C does not render unlawful anything said or done reasonably or in good faith in the performance, exhibition and distribution of an artistic work, in the course of any statement, publication, discussion or debate made or held for any genuine academic, artistic or scientific purpose, or any other genuine purpose in the public interest, Senator Lionhelm, or in making or publishing a fair and accurate report of any event or matter of public interest, or a fair comment on any event or matter of public interest if the comment is an expression of a genuine belief held by the person making the comment. I mean, clearly 18D covers off any reasonable expression. It's not just a case of offending somebody and then being hauled up before the courts. I mean, the case that is being used as a cause célèbre, that of Bill Leakes, it is absolutely clear that the 18D defence would have cleared Bill Leake of any prosecution. I mean, it's the performance, exhibition and distribution of artistic work, first of all. It's making a fair comment in a matter of public interest. I mean, 18D 100 times over would have let Bill Leake off. He would not have been. It would not have been a case that would have held up. And in fact, we have been told that Gillian Triggs at the Human Rights Commission had said they wanted an 18D defence to be brought against, to be put forward as a defence, because that would have meant very clearly that the whole case would have been able to be very quickly dismissed. Finally, in having this debate tonight, I really urge the government, I really urge the crossbench to be thinking about what this debate, the impacts of what this debate is having on people who are just trying to be living their lives in a dignified way, free of harassment. I ask people to be listening to the voices of multicultural Australia, listening to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, listening to the peak bodies representing our diverse Australian community. As a parliament, we do not need to capitulate to the far right of the government backbench. We've had a Prime Minister who has capitulated to his far right, but us as a parliament, we don't need to do that. We need to be listening to our diverse society. We need to be hearing what they are saying, hearing about the racist attacks that are on the rise in Australia, and we need to be doing everything we can to be putting them to bed, to be saying that we want to celebrate multicultural Australia. We want to be reducing racism. And we want people to be able to be living their lives free of insults and offence and humiliation and harassment, to be able to get on with their lives and to feel valued, to feel at one as part of the Australian community. And these proposed changes to the Racial Discrimination Act are the exact opposite of what we need to be doing. We need to be encouraging our diversity, not attacking it.